Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA stock. Let's go over what is happening to the stock, what we can expect moving forward, and all that good stuff. So ladies and gentlemen, as per usual, if you enjoy, please don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. But if you do enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts on the charts, etc., I do share my thoughts with my members every single day the market is open with in my YouTube membership description. In my YouTube membership, the link to it is in the description below. So definitely check it out for just $3 a month, where I mainly share my thoughts on Tesla stock in the first tier group, which is the $3 one. Sometimes other stocks if I see opportunities, of course, or for $5 a month, you get access to the second tier, which includes everything in the first tier, of course, but also access to NVIDIA daily updates as well. But ladies and gentlemen, jumping right into it, NVIDIA closing the day down 4% on the day. It was actually down substantially lower on the day as well. I think the lowest point in the day, it was down closer to almost 7% on the day, right? We covered a decent amount of it, thankfully, but up another almost 2% after hours, which is obviously nice to see. So what does this actually mean moving forward, right? Well, like I said yesterday, right? We are on the 4-hour chart. Remember how I mentioned? Let me go ahead and remove this for now. Remember how I mentioned the 4-hour chart? I'll remove this for now as well. We were entering that supply zone, right? We were entering that supply zone, and I mentioned how there's a damn good chance that we get a rejection from here, and that's exactly what happened, right? We get a rejection and we move back down, and we actually held roughly where I told my members this morning, as I was sharing it with my members all morning. If I scroll all the way down, no, that's okay. That's 2 down. That was yesterday's. I actually shared XYZ here, which was all, aka square, right? You can see I was here. I still view around 122 as a good support for NVIDIA on this pullback. And this was back when NVIDIA this was still in the morning. This is when we were only at 124, right? Again, constantly sharing these updates. My members obviously get that first. So if you're interested, link is below. Literally just $5 a month. Hey, $5 a month is too much for you when, hey, it is what it is. But jumping into it, right? This is, despite everything else, right? This is still going to be an area of massive resistance. So this is an area that the bulls will absolutely need to break. I mean, we're almost back to retesting it once again, but the bulls will absolutely want to go ahead and break past this area for NVIDIA to really regain momentum, essentially really above 133 roughly, I'll say, right? Again, it's not perfect, right? Not 133.01, no, like around 133, give or take a couple dollars, right? You want to really see the bulls break back above that, recapture that, and turn essentially that general level back into support. If we can do that, we might be printing one of the world's largest bear traps and fake breakdowns, or essentially false breakdowns, I should say, ever. This could be one of the biggest I've ever seen in my life. Now, again, I haven't been training for like 20 years or anything like some people have, of course, but nonetheless, it could be some pretty substantial stuff, right? So again, one step at a time. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that is the bullish scenario, right? That's what the bulls really want to do. They really want to get back up there, and they really want to turn that 133 rough area back into support. And I think things are going to be looking damn good after that. Now, the more bearish perspective is the fact that we do come back up there regardless. I actually still think we're coming back up to retest the low 130s regardless. So that's my next target. But the bearish perspective is, it rejects us. It simply just rejects us. We have issues getting back above it. It doesn't go so well. And we ultimately truly turn it back into a resistance. And that would be very, very bearish. And this would make this massive consolidation breakdown, in the bearish favor, right? So this either turns into a massive bullish reversal and a bear squeeze, essentially, like a short squeeze, if you will, or this is indeed a breakdown. This is not going to be very good, and we most likely just continue chopping around this area for quite some time. And at some point, there's a damn good chance we even break down below 115 and ultimately make our way down to my next target, closer to about, we'll say about $105-ish per share, something around there, right? That'll be the bearish case and the bearish scenario. So let's see how it ultimately plays out. Now, if the bearish case does play out, and let's say at some point eventually we do end up coming back down to 105, I do think it'll take some time. I don't think it's going to happen, overnight or anything like that, mainly because we already experienced a massive move like this. I mean, when a stock like NVIDIA in just those 2 days drops, what is this, like 20% in just a few days, like literally 2 days roughly? I mean, come on, right? I mean, how much more can it go down? It's not going to go down another, okay, let's see how much more it is from here down to like 105. It's not going to go down another 15% right away. I mean, it could, but man, the odds are just, not in your favor for that, right? Like, that's just, it's kind of insane to expect a massive company like NVIDIA to make that kind of move after it already experienced one of the biggest, if not the biggest drawdown, single day drawdown, I think in the history of the market, right? So you have to understand that, right? If it does happen, it'll take time. It's not going to happen right away. We most likely will consolidate within this area, assuming the bearish thesis is the one that's playing out. We'll consolidate, we'll get some zigzags, some volatile movements like this for quite some time, and then we'll potentially make our way back down. So you want to be really careful with these kind of things, right? Really, really careful. We're not going to just, I mean, we could, but again, the chances of this just happening right away, not very high, right? Because I think a lot of people are just expecting it to just tank right back down to 105, and it's just like, yeah, it could, but it's probably going to take a couple weeks at least before that actually happens, which is great for option sellers like me. I'm just saying, I'm absolutely gonna rake in the premium on this. But yeah, so what else is really good though for the bulls, right? For the bulls, there's two actually really good things still that I like, despite obviously this bearish breakdown, and that's the fact that we are retesting the 200 EMA on the daily, which is this kind of, bluish, tealish line. We are retesting obviously this new kind of trend line, if you will, back here, which is holding us decently well, right? This kind of red one, you can see it started back here, bounced from it back here. These, ever since, whenever NVIDIA has touched this trend line, it has marked significant bottoms. Now, whether or not this one is one of those remains to be seen. I think if we recapture 133, absolutely, but it's an if, right? It's still an if. So those two things, right? The 200 EMA on the daily, that trend line, and on top of that, we also have this. I think a lot of people forgot about this. Even I did until I saw someone else talk about it. I think Banana on Twitter or X. So shout out to Banana, he's great. He talked about this. I completely forgot about it. But remember a long time ago when we were still consolidating in this little situation here, and we had this trend line that I kept talking about way back when. We broke out of it, right? Remember we broke out of it, and then we started that massive consolidation. Well, what do? We actually retested this breakout almost to perfection. So you can put on your bullish goggles, if you will, and talk about it like that. And this could just be a very bullish retest of what this massive consolidation breakout was. Always a possibility as well. But again, let's just see how things go. Let's see how it ultimately ends up playing out. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of my overall general thoughts on NVIDIA, right? We really need to see how the next few days go. We really, the bulls really want to break back above 133 roughly. That would be very good, nice to see. Turn that area back into support, and I think that would be very, very good to see. Otherwise, we consolidate within this area and potentially set up a large bear flag, and then ultimately make our way back down to 105, which would be my final target on this dip for NVIDIA if it were to, of course, happen. So yeah, let's just see how it goes. I did buy the dip today. I sold more cash puts, and I bought shares outright. I was a little bit worried at it, initially during JPOW, because I think I was getting a little bit too deep for more than I would normally want to do. But so far it's ended up working out pretty well, which is obviously nice to see. But yeah, again, that's my general thoughts in terms of options flow. Let's take a quick look at NVIDIA options flow. What is happening here? Overall, the bulls are dominating the bears, but not too convincingly today. But today was definitely one of those days where hard to really pinpoint too much because of just it's a wild day, right? We have massive earnings coming out that already came out, like Tesla, Meta, Microsoft. We had JPOW. We have more, pretty big earnings coming up. We have Google coming up next week, Tuesday. We have Amazon next week, Thursday. I think Apple is this Thursday. Yeah, Apple this Thursday in a couple of days, right? So that's another. Wait, today's Wednesday. Oh, today's Wednesday. I thought today was Tuesday. I don't know why. Today's Wednesday. I thought today was Tuesday. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but we have Apple coming up tomorrow. Could be a big one. So let's see how these things go, right? We still have more volatility potentially in store for us for these coming few days, so we'll see. But that's my general consensus on the stock. So let me know what you think down below. But again, don't forget, we bounced off of a very specific area. This is what I was sharing with my members all morning. Fibonacci from here to here, held that 618 level almost to perfection the whole day, and we so far bounced back up off of it, which is a nice thing to see. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.